thought of embarking on a journey to relocating to a new land? You're in the right place. Hi everyone! Ever thought of moving abroad? Then you're in the right place. I'm here to take you through a journey of the whole process that is required of you as you move abroad. I'm covering everything from the visa processes to the immigration, everything that you will need to know before you move abroad. It's time to pack your bags and let the adventure begin. Today I'm here to discuss about the different kinds of visas that you will need to move to Norway. I'm going to explain what a visa is. First of all, when you think about traveling or when you think about jobs overseas, as many of us dream of, it's good to make sure that you understand the whole process, because it has really saddened my heart when I look at these travel agents who get to tell you that I'm going to give you a visa to the US, I'm going to give you a visa to Norway, I'm going to give you a visa to... Before you make that step of trying to go to the agents, please get to know this, that a visa is only granted by the immigration offices of the country that you want to move to. There is no travel agent that will give you a visa. So get to know this before you try to run to those travel agents for a job or for something. Number one, the most important thing you will need before you travel to a new land is your passport. Just get to know that if you don't have a passport, you cannot go anywhere. So the first thing you do if you dream of moving abroad is get yourself a passport. To get a passport, you have to make an application on eCitizen if you're from Kenya. Go to eCitizen, Immigration Services, Passport Application. If you're a new applicant, you will see up there, New Applicant. So go to the new applicant and make the whole process until you finish. Then you will have to go for biometrics. That is like taking your fingerprints to the office, immigration office of your choice. So if you're in Nairobi, you can go to near your house. If you're in Embu, there is an immigration office there. If you're in, I think, Eldoret or Nakuru, one of those, they have their office there. If you're in Mombasa, they have their office there. So before you embark on this journey, number one, have your passport with you. Number two, get to know which country do you want to go. For example, if you're a Kenyan and you want to go to South Africa, recently it was, South Africa was made visa-free for Kenyans. So if a travel agent is advising you that, oh, I have visas for South Africa, just know that it is visa-free. You will not need a visa for South Africa. It is free. You just need your passport. Your passport is your travel document. If you are going to another country, forget about your ID. Your ID is only useful in Kenya. So your passport is your travel document. Okay? Are we together up to there? Yes. So let me please not find any of you going to an agent for a visa. It is not possible. So there are different types of visas that are required to go to a country. Okay? If, for example, you're from Norway and you want to come to Kenya for a visit, you will have a visit visa to Kenya. But currently, Kenya is visa-free for most of the countries from Europe. So my point here is that you get to know that the visa is the document you need. It is the legal permit you have to move to another country. And the visa is usually imprinted on your passport. So for you to go to another country that requires a visa, you will have your visa imprinted on your passport, which is granted by the immigration office of the country that you are moving to. I hope I'm clear and loud enough for you to understand that. If you have to replay this many times, please do. If you have to send it to someone before they make a mistake of getting conned, please do. But I just want us to understand first that the first thing we need to move to a country is a visa and a passport. Because the visa will be printed on the passport. Okay, I think I've taken a long time on that already. So there are different kinds of visas that you will need to different countries. If you are coming to Norway, these are the different kinds of visas that you will need for Norway, right? Number one visa, like one example of a visa that you will need to come to Norway is a visitor visa. A visitor visa is also a tourist visa, like they serve the same purpose. So if you want to come to Norway on a visit purpose, you will apply for a visit visa stroke tourist visa. So this visa allows you to be in Norway for 3 months for tourism or visiting family or attending cultural events like sports. It is usually a short validity period visa. So this visa mostly lasts for 3 months. For example, you want to visit your friend or your family in Norway. What you do is like plan your documentation. Number one thing you need to know, the embassy or the immigration offices require to know if you want to visit a certain person, what is your relationship. So for example, if you want to visit your friend, they want to know your relationship. And this means even photo evidences to show how long or how solid your relationship is. It is as serious as that. It is not just any person who will send you an invitation letter and you get granted a visa. They really want to know how solid is your relationship. How long have you known each other? Are you visiting just for the purposes of the visa and all? So this is very important to know that if you're applying for a visit visa, you have the relevant documentation that accompanies that visa application. So in this visit visa, I have already done a video about how to get a visit visa in Norway. So I'm gonna put it down here for you to go to it if you need to know how to come to Norway using through a visit visa. The next kind of visa is a work visa. A work visa is granted to you if you have already found an employer in Norway who will send you a work contract, and you will use the work contract to do the applications. Okay? So you already have a work contract. You're not coming to Norway to look for work. You already have the work. You have already signed agreements, and now the company that is hiring you in Norway is going to send you documents that you will use to take to do the application. And then afterwards, if, for example, in Norway, the UDI is what grants you visa. So if the UDI is convinced enough, they will give you the visa. So even with the work contract, there is no guarantee that you have the visa. That is the second type of visa. Another kind of visa is a student visa. And I will also put a link here about how to apply for a student visa. My sister has done that in her channel, Shikumangi. So I will put it down here. A student visa is a visa that you get after a school in Norway accepts you. A school in Norway accepts you to study with them. They will send you some documents which you will use to apply for the student visa. So that one you can watch in my sister's channel, as I will put it down here for you. So with a student visa, you are allowed to stay until the validity of your study, up to the validity of your study. You know, like if you're going to study for 1 year, the student visa will be for 1 year. So it is all based on the years of study that you have here in Norway. The next visa that you can have is the family immigration visa. The family immigration visa is if you're a parent joining your child in Norway, you can apply for a family immigration visa. If you have a family member who is Norwegian citizen or has a permanent resident in Norway, you are eligible for a family immigration visa to join them in Norway. So if you're a child who has a parent in Norway, if you're a parent who has a child in Norway, if you are a spouse who has the other spouse in Norway, then you are eligible to apply for a family immigration visa. And it doesn't matter if the person is here as a student or what. If the person is living in Norway on permanent residence, you are eligible to apply for a family immigration visa. And I will also put this video here because I have done it previously about how to apply for a family immigration visa. Then there is the au pair visa. Au pairing is the process where people come to a country to join a family, to help them with their chores. Like, it's like a cultural exchange. People exchange from a different culture. Like if you're from Kenya, you join a Norwegian family and exchange their culture. They will pay for your language school and get to teach you about their culture, and you will also teach them about their culture as you help them with their children, like take them to school, pick them from school. You have like a list of chores to do, and they also give you accommodation, they give you food, and they give you some small stipends. So this is called an au pair visa, but currently I think it's not going to be continued in Norway. But I have also done a video about au pairing. The au pair visa is in my channel. You will see it down here. Then there is an entrepreneur visa. If you plan to start a business in Norway, then you might be eligible for this entrepreneur visa. An entrepreneur visa allows you to establish your own business in this country. So if you think that's your kind of visa, don't hesitate, apply for it. The last but not least kind of a type of visa that you can apply here in Norway is called a humanitarian visa. If you are in dire need of protection, if you feel you're not safe where you live, if you feel you're in danger, if you feel you're at a risk of something, you can apply for a humanitarian visa. Like for example, if your country has war, if for example your life is, some people are pursuing you, this is the kind of visa to apply. It is also called an asylum seeker visa. Like, this is for someone who needs to be protected, whose life is not safe, whose life is in danger where you live. So you can move to a country and apply for this kind of visa, which is called asylum seeker or a humanitarian visa. There is also this kind of visa that is called the artist visa. So if you're an artist, or you do this kind of cultural things, you can apply for an artist visa to work in Norway for a specific project or event. So for artists, you have your own kind of visa called an artist visa. There is also a resident permit. A resident permit is for individuals planning to stay in Norway for a longer period, like more than 90 days. If you plan to stay in Norway for more than 90 days, you apply for a resident permit. You only get a resident permit if you're here for a study or for work or for family immigration or other special circumstances. So if you want to apply for a resident permit, you must be here for longer than 90 days and you must be on the grounds of work, study, family, any special circumstance. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope this is going to help you in case you desire to relocate to a different country, to get to understand the different kind of visas they offer and which category you fall into. I hope it's helpful to you, and feel free to share this video with anyone who think might be interested in this field. And for everything about moving abroad, please stay tuned. Thank you for watching and see you. Goodbye.